Hello friends, Blaine here. Welcome back to another video for the First Descendants. Now, I am not beating around the bush and go straight into the point as English is not my main language. I am going to have a bit of a rant about a gun that I really like, but unfortunately, it doesn't receive the love that it deserves, and that is the King's Guardlance, or KGL in short. Now, KGL is one of the most, if not the most badass or cool looking gun out there in the game, but that is all it brings to the player. Looking at the unique ability, you can see the gun is built for AoE damage. My first thought or my first initial impressions is that this gun will be a good competitor to the Thunder Cage because of how fast and how usable Thunder Cage is. So when KGL comes out, or when I know of KGL, I see that this gun has potential to be or to the same, if not better than Thunder Cage. However, I was wrong. Very wrong. First thing first, the idea about KGL is that it will give you a guardian lance or turret or sentry, however you call it, and you do damage to that turret then do damage or additional damage to the enemy or surrounding enemy, but the damage out there is not doing as expected. So looking real quick through the stat here, you can see that whenever you use your sentry, you will cost 2 rounds per magazine. Now keep in mind that I have the unique ability level at maximum. The durations will be 3 seconds up to 8 seconds for maximum durations, and the additional damage is firearm damage times 10%. Okay, so 10%. Starting at level 0, it will be 6%, which compared to a lot of other guns out there, you will not see that it is a very impressive number. Next up is the basic stat for the weapon. The firearm attack is, let's say, roughly 8,000. Fire rate is 545, which is very fast. However, that to me is the only impressive stat KGL has, which is fire rate. The rest is kind of meh. First of all, critical rate is 11%, which is not that impressive. On top of that, critical hit damage is 1.7 times. So when it comes to this gun, you will not see yourself building a critical hit build. For me to be able to use a gun, it should or it must have somewhat of an impressive stat out there for the player for us to use. So let's say one of the way to build it is through critical hit rate and critical hit damage. If the gun doesn't have a really impressive critical hit rate, what you can build or what you can look at is the weak point damage. One good example is the comparisons between the handgun, the Nazistra Devotions, which is a gun that focuses on critical hit, and the Perforator, which excels in base firearm attack and weak point damage. Now this gun, it doesn't have a good firearm attack, it doesn't have a good critical hit rate, it doesn't even have weak point damage. So what do we want to build to make this gun somewhat playable or viable? The last thing, if you don't see any of those traits in a gun, then the last thing you expect is trying to build elemental damage. Another stat you have to look at is the attribute status effect trigger rate, meaning how frequent you want your guns to proc those elemental attack. Again, this gun has an insanely low number for that, which is 5%. At this point, I don't know. I love this gun because of how cool looking it is, but this gun needs to be reworked for it to be used again. At this point, at this time, there is no reason for us to play to use it besides collecting for mastery level as well as finishing the collections. And that is all it can do. Okay, so this is my view when using KGL, shooting directly at an enemy. But we are here for its unique abilities, so here it is. Long story short, this gun is not good currently. I hope Nexon will rework the gun very soon. Hopefully, this gun will see the light at the end of the tunnel and receive the love it deserves. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.